gospel this Sunday, John, who is in jail, tells his disciples to go see Jesus and ask him, "Are you for real? Are you the Messiah? Are you the Savior?" John dares to ask the question nobody has dared to ask, even up to now. Are you for real? Jesus responds with a prophecy from Isaiah and tells the disciples of John to go and take a good look at what's happening and report back to John. The blind see, the lame walk, the deaf hear, the poor are evangelized, the lepers cleansed. Further on in the gospel, Jesus asks what we expect the Messiah to be. He doesn't wear fine garments or fashionable clothes or lives in a palace. For real. The word is for real, made real in Jesus. In this Advent season, it's so easy for us to get hooked in the bling or in the glitter of the preparations for the season. The fashion, the clothes, the food, the shoes, the gadgets, the toys, the gifts. We spend crazy amounts for our Christmas decorations or Christmas trees in our village, in our houses, in our offices. We list atrocious demands on our Christmas wish list and wish that our secret Santa would buy us all these demands. Even our hunt for the perfect little shepherd that we are going to use on the nativity creche, rivals even that of the search for the Holy Grail. But all this bling blinds. Like John's disciples, it might be good to hit the pause button and ask ourselves, for real? Seriously? Is this what Advent is all about? Is this all that we are waiting for? For real. It's time to clean our lenses and shift our focus to the real reason for the season. And who might that be? Jesus. He's real in your Father, who is home after missing Christmas for so long because he was at sea or his contract did not permit him to be here. He's real in your mother who is battling a lingering illness. He's real in your Lola who has asked you for the millionth time today what day it is. He's real in your sister or brother who has bugged you the entire year by borrowing your things and not returning them. He's real in your classmate who always sleeps in class because he spent the night playing Minecraft because he has nothing better to do at home. Jesus, he's for real. He's real in our leaders who make tough decisions for our country. He's real in the people of Bohol, whose houses, whose livelihood were destroyed. He's real in the children of Zamboanga who have to deal with the trauma of war every day. Jesus, he's real for you and me. This season, let's see beyond the bling and see what's real. We are invited to live and be real to these experiences, not just in one-time, big-time, flashy dole-outs and photo ops that we can post on social media. Like John's disciples, the gospel asks us to report what we see. In Hiligaynon, there's even a better word for report. The word is waragwang, which has all the elements of reporting, plus announcing, and even exposing. In Tagalog, it could be equivalent to ipahayag. So, as John has prepared the way for Jesus, and as we immerse ourselves in Advent preparations, let us take time to see clearly how Jesus is real for us. Let's report it to the world. Ipahayag, iwaragwang. Now let's go back to the people who are real but also need to see that Jesus is real in their lives, and even in the midst of their difficulties, Jesus is real to them. Adrian, how do you make Jesus real to your classmate who sleeps all day and yet spends the entire night playing Minecraft?
I will try to call her or text him and tell him to sleep earlier.
Leo, how can you make Jesus real for your Lola who has asked you what day it is today 5 times in the span of 5 minutes?
I'll just tell her again what day it is.
With a smile.
Yeah, and with a smile.
Still with a smile. That's nice. JC, how can you make Jesus real to a mother who's been battling a lingering illness?
I hold her hand and spend as much time with her.
That's nice. Joshua, how can you make Jesus real to your sister who's been bugging you for the longest time since the day you were born?
I tell her that she has been very irritating, but I'll pinch her nose and I'll tell her I love you. I still love you.
Keith, how can you make Jesus real to your father who hasn't been home for Christmas for the longest time?
Tell him that I'm very sorry for being lazy and that I'm going to be a good boy.
That you will be a good boy. Making Jesus real and making people see that Jesus is real in their lives doesn't have to be something very flashy. It can be in very simple ways, much like what you've mentioned. Jesus can be made real in very simple ways. Marie Eugenie calls it simple acts of kindness. It is through these simple acts of kindness that we can make Jesus real. In Romans, St. Paul tells us that people need to hear about Jesus. People need to see Jesus is real. If you don't tell them, how will they know? If you don't tell them now, when? Ipahayag, iwaradwag, Jesus is real.